So today, Back 4 Blood released the trailer for the Tunnels of Terror DLC update that's going to be coming out on April 12th. So let's just go ahead and watch the trailer, see what it's all about, and then I'm going to go through it and pay attention to a couple more things that you might have missed or things that you might want to focus on as you watch the trailer yourself, okay? So let's just get straight into it here, and so excited! Oh! So many things just happened there! Okay.
Most nights, you see something like this and walk right on by. A ridden-infested tunnel slithering through the Earth's bowels. Thanks, but no thanks, right?
Okay, so what I'm wondering is if these are in the proper locations, because this looks, what? Like the Tunnels of Blood 1-2, right? So I wonder if these are actual locations or if this is all just for show and cinematic.
Trust me, when you need to dig up a little extra equipment, you start to think, damn, there's gotta be some good shit down there. We never know where or when we'll discover these ridden hives.
I wonder if that's true. I wonder if it's true that you'll never know where and you'll never know when, if they vary around or what. And by the way, look how creepy the Ripper looks right there. Oh my god.
Fighting your way out of these twisted underground mazes?
Hey, save her!
It's a whole new can of worms. Name's Charisse. Used to pull people out of burning buildings. Now I say burn it all to the ground. That's Hang. Pretty deadly for an old guy.
I'm not getting any younger, so let's do this.
Used to have his own restaurant, and you know what they say. Chef's best friend is a sharp...
Okay, you see how he's actually using his chef knife? I don't know if you know this, but every single character has a unique knife. I think Doc has a scalpel. So it's kind of funny that he has his chef knife.
How's this for your last meal?
I guess you can't poke the hornet's nest without stirring up a few new surprises. Urchin, Shredder, and the Ripper. Looks like a bug porcupine. No amount of training gets you ready for this shit. But we've got a few new tricks up our sleeves.
Serve it with a smile.
That's so sick. Look at how you aim through the freaking imp right there.
When you're up against a whole hive, you gotta be prepared. And you can never have too many toys.
Ooh, ogre's down here.
Hope you're not claustrophobic.
This should be fun.
I agree. Ooh, it should be fun. So there was a lot going on there, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of it flew right by you. Okay, so something I see immediately here, I actually wonder if I can go back a couple of frames. I wonder if it'll... Yep. Okay, look. You see this? Look at what he's carrying, and look at what she's carrying. I don't know, but I think this is the closest we've gotten as to what their primary weapons are. It looks like he's carrying an RPK, and it looks like Charisse is carrying UMP. I got a feeling that this is about as much of a reveal as we're going to get until we see them. I know Hang had a Phoenix in the artwork, but this is in-game, so I don't know. We'll see. Ooh. Oh, another thing I'm seeing right here is take a look on the right-hand corner. That is a stalker typically, right? But it is spitting something out, which to me means... I mean, does it have spikes on it? Maybe that's the urchin. It's spitting something outward, though, then that's definitely not a hawker or a stinger. And then I'm assuming they mentioned skull totems, so these must be what the totems look like.
Open wide.
Oh, yeah, sure enough, you carry them. Okay. Actually, wait, did I just see something there? I think we saw a Shredder climbing up. Again, there was so much that happened so quickly. Don't be shocked if you missed some of it. Yeah, Shredder was climbing up here. And now something that's really interesting is it looks like he's climbing up from something that might be hard to climb up ourselves because the ladder's broken. So if we have to drop down, we might not be able to go back up, which is a very different type of map because there's not a whole lot of locations in the game currently where you dive down and you can't get back to it. Only things on like Barroom Blitz and stuff like that. So that's interesting to see as well.
Most nights, you see something like this and walk right on by. A ridden-infested tunnel slithering through the Earth's bowels.
So what I'm really curious about here is we just saw a bunch of different locations for these hives, and this must be what the hives look like, just like on the side of the wall with the purple light coming out of it. Now, what I'm curious about is if these are the actual locations, because if this is an actual location, this is, what, on Tunnels of Blood, the second time you see the ogre? And so what that means to me is that this is, like they said, just inside of a level. It's something you get to go ahead and choose to do inside of your normal gameplay. So it's going to be very seamless. It's not going to be a different mode. It's going to be, you're on Tunnels of Blood. You want to go in this thing. It's pretty scary, but there might be cool stuff in it. You sure you want to do it? Yes. Like, that's kind of what it seems like it's going to be like.
Thanks, but no thanks, right? Trust me. When you need to dig up a little extra.
Something I'm seeing right here that seems kind of important is there is a safe room box inside of this, what looks like a tunnel entry. Like, you might even get opportunities to just reset or go into a new level, or, I mean, I'm not really sure how this is going to work. So if there's a safe room box, that means you hit a new safe room. And if you hit a new safe room, there are cards that have implications with that. Like, what is that? Fresh Bandage, or maybe Share the Wealth, or Safe Room Recovery. Any of these cards that proc off of safe rooms, it makes me wonder if this is going to be a whole new area.
Equipment. You start to think, damn.
And similar to what we just said, it looks like you go down and then you're not going back up. The ladders are cut off, which is interesting. We see a different chest here too. Is this the warp tunnel chest that they keep talking about that has all the interesting stuff in it? I'm assuming so, huh? By the way, what is that gun? Just like a dirty ranch rifle?
There's gotta be some good shit down there.
So that's the Shredder, and it looks like the Shredder can charge. Okay. I mean, you never know. I know he's a part of the Reeker class, but that doesn't necessarily mean he has a charge. It's really interesting that his hands are glowing as well. I don't know if he hits really hard or what that's all about. Maybe that's part of his shredding.
We never know where or when we'll discover these ridden hives.
Oh, it's so sick.
Fighting your way out of these twisted underground mazes?
Oh, okay. I see something there. Maybe this is why Hang is so distracted. Now, I can't believe he just lets her lay there. But if you take a look in the top left-hand corner, that looks like a skull totem. And they're just kind of floating about in the tunnels at the looks of it, huh? And I don't really know what the skull tunnels are all going to... Not the skull tunnels. The skull totems are all going to be in the tunnels. But they do appear to be a weapon. Don't know what you're going to do with it other than carry it around. But maybe there's a reason why you'd want to collect these. I'm assuming there is, right? There's probably part of a sub-objective in the tunnels. I hope they have all sorts of cool tricks like this where there's just a whole room of sleepers and stuff like that. That'd be so funny.
It's a whole
Let me just take a look here.
new can of worms.
Oh, yeah, that's so gross. Look at, okay, so these must be things that you pay attention to, right? And it just spawns a whole common right there. Gross. Oh, I also see a ladder over there. And maybe, okay, so, I keep seeing these ladders all over the place. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a ladder in the top right-hand corner here. And you got to wonder what those are going to be all about. They might just be exits.
Used to pull people out of burning buildings. Now I say burn it all to the ground. That's Hang. Pretty deadly for an old guy.
So Hang's going to be super interesting. He's going to be able to help you right away if you're trying to find these hive entrances. It remains to be seen how much that's going to matter long term, but it might be helpful for the first few days. Good luck trying to grab Hang or Cerise on your team. I guarantee you there's going to be tons of lobbies where people are like, mine! And then people might dip out if they don't get the character they want.
I'm not getting any younger, so let's do this.
Used to have his own restaurant, and you know what they say. Chef's best friend is a sharp knife.
Okay, by the way, in what world can you one-tap a snitch with a knife? Just saying.
How's this for your last meal?
Was that a regular RPK?
This
Is that an RPK skin?
for your
It looks like it shoots purple bullets.
last meal.
I guess you can't poke the hornet's nest without stirring up a few new surprises.
Oh, I'm so excited about these guys.
Shredder. And the Ripper. Looks like a bug with a porcupine.
Okay, so what we see there right away is the Ripper's attack, right? So the Ripper's attack looks like he shot porcupine needles at you, but he also has this Oh, wow, there's heads inside of those things. Oh, that's so creepy. Ew. But it looks like he releases out an attack that dun 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 cleaves out, or maybe not cleaves, but shoots out towards you in a straight line. Interesting. Now, something to keep in mind, by the way, is that I'm assuming there's going to be different variations of these, right? Because this is the Ripper, the Shredder, and the Urchin. So that probably means there's going to be a ferocious Ripper, Shredder, Urchin and monstrous Ripper, Shredder, Urchin. So I'm really interested to see all the different things that they have attached to them, because if that's something you're not paying attention to when you're playing the game right now, it's a big deal, especially in the tall boy department, because that can really change your strategy on how you deal with some of these creatures in this game.
No amount of training.
Oh, that's really interesting. So not Stalker, looks like a Stalker. Urchin looks like it spits stuff out. And I don't know if it just spat a mine down, but if it spat a mine down, it looked like it just bounced. Oh boy. Oh boy.
And gets you ready for this shit. But we've got a...
Did you see that? Okay, that was the Shredder's attack then. So the Shredder... Somebody on the Discord said, the Shredder's attack is like giving you a big hug.
This shit.
And I think I see it now. Dude, can you imagine how much this is going to mess with you if you're in a corner or something? You get yoinked. So Power Strike, what it does, every 3 seconds you gain plus 10 bash damage, stacking up to 10 times. All charges are consumed on use. Now, there's a bunch of different ways to think about this, because punching is a really interesting mechanic in this game. So when you punch something, you're only going to do like 1 damage, I think. But it gets more complicated than that, because that 1 damage, however, does 40 stumble damage. And 40 stumble damage is quite a bit in the landscape of stumble HP. Not going to get all into that. I have different videos for that. Look up stumble SwingPoynt. But since it usually starts at 1 damage, and now suddenly you can get up to, what, 101 damage, presumably? Will that mean that you can punch something with a stumble multiplier of 40? So you're going to be doing... There's no way it's going to work this way. There's no way you're going to do 4,000 stumble damage. I refuse to believe it's going to work that way. Really interesting, though. And another thing that comes to my mind is if you're going to be able to do 100 damage, this might be really nice if you're trying to speed through something or run through something, right? Because you're going, and then suddenly you can just punch something, which is a low stamina requirement, and it just kills whatever's in front of you rather than trying to punch it off, and then sometimes it gets stuck in front of you, yada, yada. This will just let you clear something with a punch. It might also be really good at taking down a door really quickly, too. Let's say you accidentally run into a locked door and you either have to shoot it or melee it or something, but if you have Power Strike, your melee might be really powerful at taking down that door. And if it does make your stumble any better, it could be really strong at stumbling some of the mutations. One other thing to keep in mind is that Heavy Attack, that card you can use, turns your bash into attack that does 25 damage. So if you could do 25 damage, I wonder if that's going to be multiplied out or if it's just going to be adding the 10 bash damage, yada, yada, yada. It really just depends on how these multipliers work. But Power Strike seems like there could be a lot going on with it. And I do think that they probably designed this card well before it looked like he was winding up to smack Chris Rock.
But we've got a few new tricks up our sleeves.
Serve it with a smile.
When you're up against a whole hive.
Oh, that's another thing. Oh my God. Things are happening so fast. That's why we got to dive deep here. So we have all these hazmat suits, which look really cool, actually. But something I'm seeing here is the Damnation. They talked about this weapon a couple days ago on their Twitter, and it is an incendiary round weapon. What I didn't really talk about, or maybe I haven't had a chance to talk about it, is incendiary round weapons. You can't help but believe that those are going to benefit from fire things, right? Like pyro. So if you have the Damnation, you might really, really be in a good time if you have the pyro on your set of cards, because then suddenly you're getting a ton of health constantly whenever you're using the dang thing. Interesting.
When you're up against a whole hive, you gotta be prepared. And you can never have too many toys.
It's really cool if the ogres can fit down here. That looks like an exit. This must be the tenderizer in action. I see hang up there. Why does his bullets look... Maybe that's just... Oh, what was that in the corner? I saw a razor wire, but I see something else too. Let me take a peek. Oh, it's another skull totem. Real briefly, you can see it right here. Why do they have razor wire over there, but they left the skull totem over there? That's weird. Maybe it's because they have the tenderizer. And we get to see how the tenderizer works. It looks... That's the reload animation,
this
right?
Should be fun.
editing SwingPoynt here, I just realized something that I missed when I was talking about this. Maybe it matters that a rock just fell from the ceiling. Maybe we're going to have to care about rocks falling from the ceiling in this new DLC. Don't know why else they'd put it in the trailer. Okay, I just wanted to go ahead and give you guys a really deep dive on some of the things I was noticing because, 2 minutes trailer happens really fast. If you want to watch the trailer without me talking over it at all, I'll have the link in the description. But I'm going to be streaming this game, twitch.tv/SwingPoynt, if you want to go see over there some of the other things that we've been paying attention to or discussion we're having about the game. Also, if these videos have been helpful to you at all, I'm going to be covering a lot more of Tunnels of Terror. Please consider subscribing down below. And if you want to support the channel just a little bit more, consider becoming a member. Pays about $1 a month, and then you can support the channel directly. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you in the next video that we do around here.